Hello, my name is Walter Arcila. Today, I'm going to talk about some situations I have had in my job and in my life. I hope you understand and make your own opinion. The first anecdote I had was last year on a vacation trip to the beach. When we arrived to Tolu, Sucre, we didn't know how the accurate hotel location we had booked, so we asked a man in the street if he knew the address and how to go there. Since we were a little confused, the man reacted immediately, telling us, "Of course, I can take all of you for 15,000." It seemed just and cheap for the three of us. We were thinking in a taxi service. Then we accepted it. Then suddenly this man has showed us his vehicle. It was a modified bicycle to carry a pair of people or a small load. We looked each other surprised, astonished, but the man said, "Don't worry, it's safe." He helped us onto his bicycle and started cycling. We were confused, but it didn't last long, about 10 minutes. If we knew the hotel was 6 or 7 blocks far, we would have walked without any problem. We kept smiling all the morning, but as I say, if you don't know, you have to pay. That was nuts. I also want to mention this anecdote happened in my job several years ago when I had to travel to Buenaventura for working in an electrical installation, and the bus was leaving at 2 a.m. from the bus terminal. When I arrived to the tickets window, I left my tools while buying the ticket. Then I went to the waiting room. Later, a man said, "Passengers to Buenaventura?" I got on the bus and sat down with my backpack. The trip began, and I have slept all the way. When the bus arrived to Buenaventura, I had time for breakfast before working. After that, I went to the place I was waited. I presented myself and I was going to work, but suddenly I took into account that I didn't have something important, the tools I had left at the counter when buying the ticket. I had forgotten them, and without them, I couldn't do any work. I took my head in my hands, a deep breath, and I said, "Take it easy, Walter." I made several calls to locate my tools. I accomplished it. They were sent in another bus to have them with me. I couldn't do anything that morning. I had to relax while the tools arrived. That day became in a special day. Without planning it, I had the opportunity to visit the pier, the sea, relaxing with the breeze, and finally working hard to come back at night. That's all, friends. Thanks to everybody. Bye bye.